So I just figured out something new I haven't seen before, namely how to create blurry vision in dreams. Once again, the text gadget knows how to impress everyone. This is just a normal wall. You can walk through, kind of see the effect. It is at 1% opacity. But if you move the camera behind it and move the camera really fast, you can see that my little guy here gets very blurry while the camera moves. Or when the camera kind of stays still and the person is moving, that gets blurry. So I use that to create a couple of gadgets. First of all, this spinning monstrosity here. Ooh. That is just a hexagon with some walls here. And if everything spins, and I walk inside of it, you can see how I can see the feet and the top of the head clearly, but the rest is basically censored. Yeah. And then I did something a little bit more compact. This is just a spinning cylinder with a round text gadget attached to it. You can see it's spinning at around, well, 700. Walking through it, walking behind it, you can see a lot of blur, but this one is also at a higher opacity. Right behind it is a bigger one, and the bigger ones I like because they appear like a gate you walk through. This one is very faint, but this is also related because this one is spinning very slowly. If you spin them up faster, like this one, once again at 700, this is the normal effect, and at a faster speed you can get a far stronger effect that immediately is noticeable if you kind of get close to it. And I like that because it looks really like a water effect or something similar. The effect gets more pronounced if you look at things that are farther away, or if the camera gets closer, I think. Noticeable with this one too. When you walk through it, nothing big happens, but if you walk farther away, it kind of gets more intense. And you can see the building behind it getting very distorted. And interestingly, right at the center where my shoulder is right now, the effect is less pronounced, obviously because there the text gadget is rotating less fast. So you get kind of like a lensing effect, which can probably be used a lot. And you get lots of bugging out if these things overlap. This is just an identical copy. And here's one big feature. What you can see here is just a static text gadget, nothing moving about it. But if you look through this one and then behind that one, you can see it canceling out the distortion. So just moving into this area, I'm clear again. Probably something related to which is drawn latest and which is drawn first by the engine. But very cool effect for our purposes. Once again, if you move it too fast, you of course still get the distortion effect if you move the camera too fast. And also if the angles are slightly off, I'm unsure how to control this yet, but yeah, there's potential there. So something else I just figured out, if you change the color of a text gadget to black, basically becomes invisible. I can do this for this one too. And this is, if you ask me, an even stronger effect, because now you cannot even determine where they are until you walk through, and then until you are in the clear, you don't even know it's coming. Very cool effect. Very cool. I love this so much. So one more thing I did was get this player controlled camera. There's the camera in here, and let me quickly deactivate the puppet and activate this camera. So if I play now, I get a camera. And attached to this camera is, of course, once again, a spinning text gadget. And this text gadget can be, well, is rotated by a bolt, and I can determine the, can I get it? Right. Basically I can break it with one of my triggers, and I can also accelerate it with one of my triggers, and I can also just turn the text gadget on and off with a button. So by itself it's kind of just working against the motor bolt and swinging kind of like this. If I break it now, it stays still. If I get off the brake, it's again kind of moving. If I spin it up, it's just spinning continuously. And well, speed control is tricky, but that's also not the point here. And I can turn it on and off. So if I just keep it tight, no moving, and turn it on, you can immediately see the entire blurriness behind me gets lost. I can turn it off again and it appears once again. If I turn it on and spin it up, you can see how this puppet here gets very blurry immediately, and I can stop it and turn it on again. And if I stop it in this weird way where it's swinging back and forth, like this, like turning left and right again, you can see, look at the feet here, that it's very blurry at the edges of the screen, but in the center where it's moving less quickly, there's less blurriness. And if you ask me, this looks a lot like your usual "oh god, I'm hurt" screen from shooters or something like that. It's very icky and could just be a drunk mode. I can show this better if I approach this wall and kind of glitch into it. On the left screen you can see just a normal texture. On the right side, how it's morphed. Turn it off. This is just a normal wall, and this is this blurriness. And on the other hand, you can spin it up, and if you move farther away from something, it of course becomes less clear, just because it's so much smaller. And if you approach it, it gets kinda sharp, not really, but a little bit sharp. And this just reminds me of what short-sightedness would be. Like, you get closer to it and you can kind of see something, and of course if you get too close you glitch into it. If you move farther away you can't determine anything. And one final bit I want to show off. If I keep it tight and at the same time accelerate it, it does this. And this looks as amazing as you probably imagine, which is just this super cheap earthquake effect you can probably use in all sorts of scenarios, and you can just turn it on and off. Kind of looks like supernatural, oh my god, my mind powers are going freaky and everything is falling apart. I love this. Yeah, lots of potential here. I hope you have fun with this.